I found the 7 most baller PR moves in recent memory. Let's talk about that. Think of all the meetings that people have about communications and PR and all the money that people pay for good communications and PR. But so much of what's brilliant and so much of what works is pretty simple, pretty easy, and pretty straightforward, and it looks very effortless. What you'll learn from this list of 7 is that everything, and I mean everything, is communications. Now, I'm not saying that all of these are planned out for months or anything. I think a lot of these things are very natural. These are 7 unbelievable, baller, brilliant PR moves that I've noticed in recent months. Jonathan Majors and Megan Good right now are proving that what looks authentic and natural is the best PR. They're living their lives, they're minding their business, they're doing their thing, and they look fantastic doing it. And it has the spirit of unbothered, completely unbothered. They don't care about what anybody thinks. They say what they want. They do what they want.
Yeah. Wow! Sorry, baby. Y'all are so fine together. Talk to me about...
They go where they want. They walk out of gyms with no shirt. That's what Jonathan Majors did recently. And it has the look of, I'm living my life and I don't care about what anybody else thinks. Even more brilliant, and I don't think that they're sitting down and planning this out. I know that a lot of cynical types might think that. I actually don't. I think this is very natural, very real, and it looks real. It looks authentic. What Megan Good represents in this moment is absolute kryptonite for the enemies of her boyfriend, for the people who don't want to see him succeed and do well, because she is basically standing there and telling the world, look, there's nothing wrong with this guy. I like this guy. He's my dude. I'm in love with this guy, and this is the best moment in my life. And that basically tells everybody, everyone watching that doesn't like him and doesn't want him to succeed, to go take a hike. And that reminds me of what happened in 2022 when Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were in a courtroom in Virginia. Johnny Depp did several things that were quite brilliant from a PR standpoint. Always saying hello to fans, always looking accessible. At one point, when the whole thing ended and he didn't really need to be in the courtroom, he immediately flies and goes and appears on stage with his band. He just had the sort of feel of a real person, even though I think a lot of people see him as this untouchable actor, movie star, whatever, who's been in the public eye for so many years. He put forward this idea of sort of a man of the people type of style. And I think it worked really well for him, which is unusual because he has not sort of been in a normal lifestyle since he was a teenager. So it's incredible, but it was a great PR move, some of the stuff that he did out there, particularly going to the band right after the trial and wanting to sort of get back into what he was doing, which of course had nothing to do with what was going on in that courtroom. And of course he won, and it was a big win. It was a huge win, and some say it was the end of Me Too. Number 3 here is Beyonce. Brilliant PR. Not just her Super Bowl ad, but the upcoming country album, which is dropping at midnight on March 28th. The PR rollout for the album is unbelievable. Starts with a song coming out, and then we have a photo, then we have another photo. Now we have the album cover. Now we find out that, wait a minute, Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton are going to be on there. Now we find out there's 26 tracks. The whole thing is a PR bonanza. And she sort of interspersed it with comments about country music, how she was treated, this and that. Everybody knows what's going to happen next. The thing is going to be number 1. It's going to bring in a ton of dough. And it's going to be a huge success. And it's so predictable. But the PR rollout for it was quite brilliant. And the fact, of course, she is from Texas. She is from Houston. I think everybody knows that. But I think everybody's about to find that out in a more solid and musical way over the next week. From a PR standpoint, the Tracy Chapman, Luke Combs appearance at the Grammys was absolutely brilliant. There were several brilliant moments at that Grammy Awards, but that one was really nice, really sweet, really fantastic. For those who don't know the story, Tracy Chapman in 1988 wrote the song Fast Car, which I think a lot of people who are under the age of 25 would probably not know too much about because, you know, it was a while ago, 1988. Luke Combs, a top country artist, does a remake of the song. The song goes to like #1, and then Chapman becomes the first black woman to be artist having a song that was #1 on the country charts. That is probably going to be duplicated, by the way, by Beyonce. But anyway, no, this performance, this appearance by Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman, it's another reason why people love music, because music is universal. It brings people together. It crosses genres. It crosses all types of age groups all around the world. And music just has this unbelievable power, and it really was proven on that night at the Grammys. Number 5 is Dr. Reverend William Barber. He was thrown out of a movie theater in December. He was bringing his mother to see The Color Purple, and he was thrown out because Reverend Barber requires a special chair. He has a disability, and the folks at the movie theater, which was an AMC theater, did not understand any of that and called the cops. It was quite crazy in North Carolina.
The fear of falling and wondering if anybody will be around to help you. The fear of not wanting to be alone in a room or at night. The fear of crying in public, so you get alone so you can cry. I know the shame, because people can say some of the ugliest things when you're disabled.
And then, of course, Reverend Barber, they didn't recognize who he was. They didn't know who he was. He's a civil rights leader, and anybody in the civil rights community would know exactly who he was. He used to be the North Carolina president of the NAACP. At any rate, he turned this into a PR victory, really, for not only himself, but anybody in the community, the very big community of disabled people across this country. He demanded a meeting with the CEO of AMC Theaters, which he got in January, and really to have a conversation about how to change the policy around the type of situation that he had to encounter, more generally speaking, how disabled people are treated. But he turned what was a negative thing that was in the news of hearing about his arrest and all this into a moment where we end up talking about the disabled. He has a big press conference. He has some folks there that are dealing with disabilities standing behind him, and really turned a story about getting thrown out of a movie theater at a screening for The Color Purple to a story about how you can empower other people. So it was a great PR movement by Dr. Reverend William Barber. Jimmy Kimmel pulled an absolute baller move during the Oscars, which he was hosting. In real time, a tweet goes out not a tweet. It was from Truth Social, which is Donald Trump's platform. Jimmy Kimmel reads it on the air during the Oscars. Just reads it and, basically blows up the whole situation in his favor. And this is why you should never play around with comedians. They're so good off the cuff, so good at putting something funny together that's really effective in a communications way, and just really detonating the thing. And he just turned it around to his advantage, and he did it in a light gold colored jacket that looked fantastic. Lastly, number 7, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce did something that was a really brilliant PR move. And no, it wasn't them kissing after he got his Super Bowl ring. It was when there was a unfortunate shooting at the parade for the Chiefs. Obviously, after they won the Super Bowl, there was a shooting at the end of their victory parade in Kansas City. And what did the two of them do? They gave some money to the folks who were the victims of the shooting, which to me was a great PR move, even though, again, I don't know that these things are really, you can't plan that. You didn't know there was going to be a shooting. It seems so natural and, again, so authentic, and that's what makes it such a strong move. And it just was good. It was a good idea. It was a great idea. And it takes the attention off of, where they're on vacation, what they're doing, what's happening, and it puts them in the space of being philanthropic. And it was just a great thing. So anyway, these are the baller PR moves. There's so many more, and I'll talk about more later. But right now, that's 7 for right now, and I will be back soon. Good luck.